Welcome back to Daryl's Daily Devotional with Wisdom for the Family, ppptime.com. Today we're going to be reading from the book of Proverbs Chapter 29, the TPT version of the Passion Translation. And the caption reads, "Don't be stubborn." Stubborn people who repeatedly refuse to accept correction will suddenly be broken and never recover. Everyone rejoices when the lovers of God flourish, but the people groan when the wicked rise to power. When you love wisdom, your Father is overjoyed. But when you associate with prostitutes, you waste your wealth in exchange for disgrace. A godly leader who values justice is a great strength and example to the people. But the one who sells his influence for money tears down what is right. Flattery can often be used as a trap to hide ulterior motives and take advantage of you. The wicked always have a trap laid for others, but the lovers of God escape as they sing and shout in joyous triumph. God's righteous people will pour themselves out for the poor, but the ungodly make no attempt to understand or help the needy. You can argue with a fool. Arrogant cynics love to pick fights, but the humble and wise love to pursue peace. There's no use arguing with a fool, for his ranting and raving prevent you from making a case and settle the argument in a calm way. Violent men hate those with integrity, but the lovers of God esteem those who are holy. You can recognize fools by the way they give full vent to their rage and let their words fly. But the wise bite their tongue and hold back all they could say. When leaders listen to false accusations, their associates become scoundrels. Poor people and their oppressors have only one thing in common: God made them both. The best insurance for a leader's longevity is to demonstrate justice for the poor. Experiencing many corrections and rebukes will make you wise. But if left to your own ways, you'll bring disgrace to your parents. When the wicked are in power, lawlessness abounds. But the patient lovers of God will one day watch in triumph as their stronghold topples. Correct your child, and one day you'll find he has changed and will bring you great delight. When there is no clear prophetic vision, people quickly wander astray. But when you follow the revelation of the word, heaven's bliss fills your soul. A stubborn servant can't be corrected by words alone, for even if he understands, he pays no attention to you. There's only one kind of person who is worse than a fool: the impetuous one who speaks without thinking first. If you pamper your servants, don't be surprised when they expect to be treated as sons. The source of strife is found in an angry heart, for sin surrounds the life of a furious man. Lift yourself up with pride, and you will soon be brought low. But a meek and humble spirit will add to your honor. You are your own worst enemy when you partner with a thief. For a curse of guilt will come upon you when you fail to report a crime. Fear and intimidation is a trap that holds you back. But when you place your confidence in the Lord, you will be seated in the high places. Everyone curries favor with leaders, but God is the judge, and justice come from him. The wicked hate those who live a godly life, but the righteous hate injustice wherever it's found. And speaking of injustice, wherever it's found, it's probably not found in a place more worse than where poverty is concerned. Let's go back up and revisit and reiterate verse 7. God's righteous people will pour themselves out for the poor, but the ungodly make no attempt to understand or help the needy. The ungodly make no attempt. We as righteous in the Lord need to make every attempt to understand the plight of the poor, pour ourselves out, to change those systemic changes that need to be made, to make them systemic changes, as well as meet the needs of the poor. So we thank God for this giving season, but the systemic change that need to be made is not just to feed the hungry on Thanksgiving and Christmas like they eat 2 times a year. We have to be more proactive than that and make systemic changes, right? When it talks about understanding the poor, it's the systems or the things that are against them that give them longevity in that system of being poor. So how do we address that? How do we be generous on every occasion and then build that momentum coming out of this Christmas season and be going into 2021 and have that momentum just continue on and be godly instead of ungodly like we don't understand. So let's get that understanding of those systemic changes that need to be made in your community, in your households, families, friends, whatever it is. Let's be a blessing to those that are less fortunate, especially in these seasons, this season that we're living in now, due to COVID and the impact on jobs, the food banks and everything. I mean, it's just time to be generous. So God equates the person that's giving as being righteous and the person that's not giving as unrighteous or ungodly. We can be ungodly as Christians. Isn't that something? Just not by not understanding and being a blessing to the poor. So, God's righteous people will pour themselves out for the poor, but the ungodly make no attempt to understand or help the needy. May the blessing of God's word from the book of Proverbs Chapter 29 be a blessing to you today. And remember that you're happy, healthy, wealthy, fit, and forgiven. And remember to add comments as to any feedback you want to give us, good or bad. And like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can get all the updates and any videos that we will have coming your way. God bless you and have a blessed day.